what we can expect as we head into the overnight hours. What you're looking at is the radar, and now what we're going to show you is what happens as we go into time. So the green, the yellow, the oranges, that's the rain. The blues, the pinkish purple, kind of magenta color, I guess, in there, that is where you have that mix. Now, here we go. As we head into the overnight hours, we are eventually going to see this snow come to an end. First in D.C., then Philadelphia, then New York, and this is all through the overnight hours. It looks like Boston, however, will be the place to watch for the morning commute, but it looks like by the end of the morning commute, we should start to see at least some relief from the heavy snow.
Yeah, as if we already haven't seen enough snow in the Boston area. You could wake up to 8 to 12 inches of new snow.
And, of course, our live team coverage continues right now with meteorologist Mike Seidel. He is in Braintree, Massachusetts. Mike.
Hey, guys, here in Braintree, the snow has come back. And, again, we've told you that later this evening through about 5 in the morning, we're expecting the big dump of snow, 1 to 2 inches an hour. Boston Public Schools closed again tomorrow. That's their 4th day without school due to snowfall. And the superintendent saying they may have to make some of those days up by burning vacation days. Well, you hate to see that when the weather gets warm, and it will eventually get warm, but it's a long way away. Roadways in great shape this evening because temperatures are ranging generally in the low 30s in most of the metro area. As you get beyond 495 out towards Worcester, it's in the mid-20s, so out there you've got some issues because of temperatures being 6 or 7 degrees below freezing. No power outages here yet, but we'll likely have that same kind of issue that they're having down towards D.C. and Baltimore. Take a look at live action radar. Here comes the big slug of snow, and it will come down hard. That's a guarantee. In fact, the Storm Prediction Center has put out a mesoscale discussion. That's a discussion on a small-scale area about the snow rates of 1 to 2 inches an hour later on this evening through early tomorrow morning. So again, most of the snow will fall before the rush hour kicks in. Boston Public Schools, I mentioned, closed. Many other schools closed. And Chris and Crystal, I wanted to add on, you've been talking about the power outages across the district and Maryland and Northern Virginia being at 250,000 customers, 250,000. But let's throw in BG&E, Baltimore Gas and Electric, which serves the Metro Baltimore area. They're now checking in with 82,000 customers. So right there, you have 1/3 of a million customers in the Baltimore, D.C. metro area without power because of this heavy, wet snow.
That's exactly right, Mike. Thanks for bringing that to our attention. Of course, and Mike Chesterfield just dropped this off as well, has the exact same number on there, and continue to have a plethora of reports here, and they just continue to come in. And it's a developing situation. Stay with us here on Weather Center.
Oh, what's the difference between D.C. and New York City? Well, it's about to come to an end shortly in D.C. It's just starting in New York City with some heavy snow expected overnight. Could see more of those power outages and perhaps a slow start to the day tomorrow. The plows are out and ready. Shovels in full force. We'll talk about it tonight on Weather Center.
Thanks for staying with us tonight on Weather Center. A lot going on. The megalopolis is getting slammed right now by a winter storm. I'm Crystal Lager.
And I'm Chris Warren. Right now, being hardest hit, the D.C. area, and we can see we still have some snow coming down. Once that rain changed over to snow, it came down in a hurry, and it caused some big-time problems. The snow falling right around rush hour, and now we are left with thousands of homes. We are getting close between Baltimore, D.C., and Northern Virginia, closer to 400,000 homes without power at this hour. And also, traffic remains very difficult in the area as well.
Yeah, a lot of snow already on the ground. That's having huge implications, of course, on the roads and in the air. Dulles and Reagan have shut down their runways. Terminals are still open. We continue to talk to people tonight, of course, keeping you up to speed and ahead of this storm as far as any travel delays. You can imagine it's a nightmare out there.
It is, and Jim Cantori brought up an excellent point. We're talking about these power outages that are mounting up minute by minute, and one of the problems is because this snowstorm happened around rush hour, the crews trying to go get to the homes and get to the power lines and try to fix problems just can't get there. So it's delaying things. And so, Jim, any improvements? What are you seeing out there right now?
Well, the first thing that's going to help us, Chris, is the fact that the temperature remains right around 33 degrees. So there actually is melting going on. And the fact that we've lost the intensity of the snow in some of these areas is also going to help. So we're not adding a ton more weight, if you will, onto some of these limbs. But the problems remain just the way we left them. The fact is we've got traffic still going on in the suburbs. still going on, and power crews that are trying to get to these areas that have gotten anywhere from 6 to 12 inches of snow cannot get to them. So until that can occur, we will not see much improvement. But we do think that's going to occur later on tonight and certainly as we go through tomorrow. But we did hear from Pepco, they said, you know, don't get your hopes up, because we certainly don't anticipate getting everybody back online, not only in the morning, but perhaps even through the day tomorrow. So some of you, knowing friends, if you will, you may want to invite them over, because it's going to be a long night and certainly a long day tomorrow. Now, the schools are proactive, too, both in Maryland and Virginia. We've got, you know, either delays of 2 hours or cancellations altogether. And what typically happens is sometimes if a school even delays and they see others canceling, they will chime in as well. Government offices here in Washington also slowing things by 2 hours. Not surprising. No word from the federal government yet as to what their plan is for tomorrow. But the good news is, guys, we're starting to see a decrease in the intensity. And the more cars we get off the roads, the better. The over 4,000 trucks across Virginia and Maryland can actually do a job on these roads. Like I mentioned, we're at 32, 33. That's really going to help things when you lay salt down on it. It's going to actually help the melting. It's going to accelerate the melting, and these roads should be looking a lot better by the time tomorrow morning's rush hour goes on. But amazing. When you look at the totals, Chris and Crystal, for the year for Dulles, 1.4 inches was their biggest total. Now we've almost quadrupled that in a single storm at Dulles. And some places in the suburbs have got over a foot. Back to you.
All right, the storm came in with a vengeance. It's moving fast, of course. Yeah. And Jim, now heading into Philly and eventually tracking up through New England. And that's where we shift our attention right now.
We do have snow right now being shown on radar in the Philadelphia area, where there is a snow emergency currently in effect.
Yeah, this means 700 street department workers and 450 vehicles will be out to clear the snow from the main roads. But what's being done at the airport? That's a big question. Let's go to Victoria Lupica right now with Philadelphia International Airport. And Victoria, we talked to you earlier. Now conditions are changing. What can you tell us? What's the latest?
Yes, this is quite a storm. Our airlines have, for the most part, ceased operations. However, we do have a runway available if anyone needs it coming in. We have not closed. And we are holding still at our 477 canceled flights for the day.
And Victoria, right now we are looking at the airport right now, and it looks like not only do you have the snow, but you have the snow blowing sideways right now. So it looks like, is wind a factor right now?
Yes, it is. It's a big factor, and I think it was a big part of the decision for the airlines just to cancel their remaining flights for the evening.
All right, Victoria Lupica, we appreciate the update once again tonight. Things continue to change, of course. You can see on the radar the heavy snow coming down right around the Philly area, moving into New York City, on up into Boston as we head into the overnight hours. So the delays around the Northeast, major cities impacted by this as we head through tonight, especially at the airports.
And, of course, we're also keeping a very close eye on what's happening in New York City.
Now the pedestrian walk here on the Broadway and 47th, it's slightly seasoned. Lots of salt has been put down here. The crews will be working all night long. The snow expected to pick up in intensity. Could be looking at an additional 5 to 10 inches of snow after you saw 3 to 5 inches earlier on this morning. It's been a rough winter, folks. We'll talk about the forecast and what will happen tomorrow morning when we come back. Keep it right here.
For tonight, snow heavy at times, low 30. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Snow accumulating 2 to 4 inches. And on Thursday, except for a few afternoon clouds, mainly sunny. High 34. Winds west-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And Thursday night, partly cloudy skies early will become overcast later during the night. A few flurries possible late. Low 29. The week ahead.